Today's video, we are going to be using volume formulas and solving for the height given different information. So in this problem, it says the volume of a cylinder is 144 pi. Given that the radius is 6, calculate the height. So first of all, we need our volume of a cylinder formula, which is pi r squared h. And then we plug in the appropriate information. So we have the volume is 144 pi. That's going to go in there. And the radius is 6. So that's going to go in there. So we have 144 pi equals pi times 6 squared h. Now, calculate what 6 squared is. That is 36. So we have 36 pi h. Again, we're trying to solve for h here. Now, to get h all by itself, what we have to do is do the opposite of multiplying by 36 pi, which would be dividing both sides by 36 pi. And it's good that we leave the answers in terms of pi because at the very end, pi divided by pi cancels out. And then all I have to do is figure out 144 divided by 36. 144 divided by 36 is 4. So the height is 4. Whatever units we're going to use. All right, say inches, you would put inches, centimeters, feet, so on and so forth. Okay. All right, let's take a look at another one. Ooh, volume of a cone is 75 pi. Given that the radius is 5, calculate the height. All right. So my volume of a cone formula is 1/3 pi r squared h. Okay. 75 pi goes in for v. Okay. The radius is 5. Now we're going to calculate the height, right? So we have the volume is 75 pi. So 75 pi equals 1/3 pi 5 squared h. 5 squared. You always do exponents first. 5 squared is 25 times 1/3. Ooh, that might be ugly. So let's see. 25 divided by 3, right? 1/3. That is an ugly decimal. So we're going to leave this a fraction. All right. So we're going to leave this 25 pi over 3. Leave that as a fraction. We have our h on the outside. Okay, now just like we had before, when we have pi's on both sides, so if I took a look up here, remember we had a pi on both sides and they eventually canceled out, right? This canceled out and this canceled out and the 36 is canceled. So when you have a pi on both sides, you can technically cancel them both out when it's all multiplication. So I can cancel those out right away. Now, then I ask myself, how do I get rid of 25 over 3? You have to multiply it by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 25 over 3 is 3 over 25. So I multiply this by 3 over 25. Then you can use a calculator. 3 over 25 times 75, right? Or 3 times 75 over 25. Really doesn't matter. I'm going to do 3 divided by 25 times 75 is 9. So my final answer is 9 because these canceled out over here, right? So all I'm left with is h on the right side, and then I multiplied by the reciprocal on this side to get my final answer. Now in this problem, it says the volume of a cylinder is 320 pi. Given that the diameter is 16, find the length of the height. All right, so again, we're going to go back to our volume of a cylinder formula, which is pi r squared h. Now this time, the volume is 320, right? Is this not doing this? Cooperating. There we go. So that is going to go in for the volume, but the diameter is 16. So this time the diameter is 16. That means the radius is 16 divided by 2, which is 8. So 8 is going to plug in for my radius. So we have 320 pi equals pi and then 8 squared h. 8 squared is 64, so this is 64 pi times h. And again, when we have pi's on both sides, you can just literally cancel them both out and then just do 320 divided by 64. So I'm going to move this a little bit and divide both sides by 64. And that way my h will be isolated, and all I have to do is 320 divided by 64 is 5. So my height is 5. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and always remember, whether you solve for x or y, always give math a try.